Hi Capricorn, welcome to Bella Luna. I'll be doing your reading for today. So this is a story time / spiritual reading. It's general, it may or may not resonate. It's timeless, and we are just looking at the week ahead. So for the center, can I get the core of the situation for Capricorn, please? Fire ant, okay. So I am almost hearing the song Fire Burning by Sean Kingston. I don't know what it is this week, Capricorn, but there's something that you just can't let go of, if that makes sense. I'm hearing it in my head, someone say to themselves, just forget about it, just let it go, it doesn't matter, just whatever. Almost like trying to, right, it's the whole question of, are you doing it consciously or not? If it's conscious, I believe it's repression, and then if it's if it's unconscious, it's repression, and then if it's conscious, it's suppression. So I feel like you've been suppressing some stuff, and it just keeps drawing your attention. So looking at the past, you got the Beaver card. I forget what other reading got this. I think it was Aries. So you could be dealing with an Aries. But for the past 2 years, it's almost like for 2 years more, because that's my 2-year card. You've just been borderline gaslighting yourself, been telling yourself that this one thing isn't a big deal, sweeping it under the rug, but at the same time, it's been right in front of your face, right? So let's see where you're heading in the future. This reading is a little cryptic. Firefly, okay. So it's almost like, as you can see, the Firefly card and the Fire Ant card are very similar. It's almost like you have an epiphany on how to fix this thing. If fix isn't the right word, then it's like address it, deal with it, or squash it, like once and for all. You finally have an idea. Or perhaps, a way out of the situation, right? Whatever the Firefly for you, it's some type of a insight or download that's going to help you sort of put out the fire, if you will, right? It's like a fire extinguisher. So let's see the subconscious of the situation. Frog, okay. So I think this has been a quite painful, a lot of the readings this week have been centered around growing from pain. So I think this is something that has been quite detrimental to you, almost to the point that you don't even know. And when I say that, I just mean you can know it's bad for you, but not realize how bad it is in the moment, right? If you talk to some people who started smoking when they were younger and carried it into their adulthood, something they say is like, if I could go back in time and tell myself, like, hey, this is a really serious thing, don't do it, they would, right? But they didn't realize at the time how, detrimental each cigarette was. Because there's always that saying, it's like, well, it's just one cigarette. But how fast does one become like 100? So this week, there's a lot of emotion coming out, at least subconsciously. Maybe everyone else won't be able to see it, but you'll definitely be feeling it and going through it. Some type of a release, you could be releasing this person, this place, this thing, your mindset around it, your attachment to it. There is a heavy feeling of letting go. So let's see what's crowning the reading for you, Capricorn. Bat, as I said, like flying away, flying towards moonlight as well. So I don't know if you're finding out a bunch of secrets or perhaps like illusions, but there is a sense of you finally want to see things right, if you catch my drift. Whatever this thing is that's been in your life that you've just been like, no, it's okay, whatever. I think you're really realizing how much of an emotional, mental, or physical toll it's taken on you. almost to the point where you might not recognize yourself anymore. There is just this sense of you want to see things very clearly now. You want to see people's intentions for what they are. You want to know, it's very Capricornian, right? I don't know if I'm speaking to a Western or a Vedic Capricorn. I'm Vedically I'm a Capricorn, but it is very Capricornian of what is the contract that we're signing? What are the rules of this game we're operating under, right? Because that's where people screw over Capricorns. Capricorns and people with Capricorn placements are very, very intelligent. And personally, from what I've witnessed, at a young age, they go through a lot of turmoil, a lot of betrayal, a lot of breaching of trust, etc., etc. And it turns them into these really strong, powerful, respected, relied on adults, right? But the only way they were able to reach those heights was because they had suffered all the lows, right? When we're aware of the human shadow, it's easier to integrate our own and not be so, I guess, reactive with other people's shadows, including our own. But when the shadow side is hidden from someone and we can't see it or we don't want to accept it, then we begin to live in a state of delusion, right? Because you're not seeing that person properly. I'm an Aquarius Sun, Western astrology, and a quote that I saw that I really relate to Aquarians. If an Aquarius really loves you, they will accept you on your good and bad days. Like, just trust me. Go to an Aquarius. If they really love you, they accept you on your good and bad days. If it's fake love, then they just find you interesting and like you're a puzzle they want to pick apart. Of course, look at the whole chart, the moon, the Venus, etc. But predominantly, people with Aquarius placements is just how it is, right? So going back to Capricorn, because that's the video we're in, you have gotten very serious, which is actually a good thing for a Capricorn, because when Capricorns aren't serious about themselves, they tend to attract other people who aren't serious, and it can be really destabilizing for a Capricorn and the energy in which Capricorn operates best, right? So this week, I'm just seeing crystal clear, you know? You might be getting a new prescription, right? Life imitates art. You might be getting new glasses. But very literally, you're going to start seeing people for who they are. Another quote that really helped me was, when you're giving benefit of the doubt, at whose benefit are you giving it? Because it sure as hell ain't your own. So if you've been, if this is someone you've continually given them the benefit of the doubt, or if they do shitty things, you're like, okay, but they have a good heart, Eventually, you have to look at a person's actions, right? If anything, I would argue, look at their actions first, because it prevents you from getting into these kinds of situations. So yeah, this week, Capricorn, it's a huge veil being unlifted, and I think you're really going to find out what people you want to keep in your life and what people are really getting the chop. Because when a Capricorn becomes serious about themselves, from my personal experience, nothing can stop them. You are that goat that will reach the top of that mountain and leave everyone else in the dust and leave them all shocked. That's Capricorn for me. Capricorn's the one who builds the empire and then says, yeah, while you guys were, it's that TikTok, right? While you were doing niche, I was out here working. You were out there building your empire, right? While everyone else was at home sleeping. So, this week, as I said before, as I've said many times, you're just seeing very clearly. It might be so clear to you that it might even hurt, right? When you can really see someone for who they are and they're doing something that's just malicious, it can really hurt us because we know they can do better, right? You're like, you could be so much more. And that's another thing with Capricorn. Don't date someone based on potential. I see Capricorns do this all the time. And I'm like, why are you doing this to yourself? Don't date on potential. Date on what they're showing you. And, why even use the word date? This could apply to a school situation, a work, career, family, friends, anything, right? If you're serious about someone, make sure they're serious about you, right? So I think I'm gonna leave the reading there. Thank you guys so much for listening. I hope something resonated or helped you out, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.